I don't necessarily need to talk Colin Cowherd, but I will talk chili for breakfast.
Donald Trump.
Proud to be an American and a man.
Less quoties, more basketball playing.
Zuckerberg versus Francis Ngannou, UFC 300. You kidding me?
High School Musical remake with Anthony Edwards. I'm listening. This Steph Sabrina event was the only compelling part of the entire weekend. Somebody tell Kenny Smith. It was perfect.
Let's call a muffin what it is.
It's called breakfast cake, and I like it.
Seeing The Rock being a bad guy for the first time in 21 years.
It doesn't make the rest of the day feel perfect, but in that moment, the high, From Wondery, I'm Michelle Beadle.
And this is Over the Top.
In sports and pop culture, going to face off. We're going to crown a champion. And we're going to answer a simple question. What is the undisputed most important thing on planet Earth this week? We are going to decide that the only way we know how, using Royal Rumble rules. We start with 2 stories. We decide which one's more worthy to discuss and which one has to go. After 90 seconds, a new story will be introduced, and we'll have to decide whether we want to keep talking about our current story or switch to the new one. We don't know the order of stories coming our way, but we do decide which ones get thrown over the top. Bro, Pizza, what's up first?
All right. Well, it's quite a matchup, a battle of winter sports. The NBA, they were hoping for a bit more effort in the All-Star game, but instead they got the highest scoring game ever, 397 total points. Hope you took the over. And what was mostly regarded as a disappointing dunk contest.
Fair.
Now, the NBA All-Stars up against the NHL Stadium Series, which kicked off at MetLife this weekend. Flyers hosting the Devils and the Rangers with an awesome comeback overtime victory over the Islanders. Do you want to talk about the All-Star game and festivities, or you want to talk about the NHL Stadium Series?
I don't know much about the Stadium Series other than it happens more than once. It's cold outside and you can barely see the ring. If it's all right with you. Okay, go.
Well, yes, I agree with basically everything you said, but I will also say that you should include that it's cool too. Like it is cool.
It's cool. You have bands and stuff, right?
Yeah, and like from what I've been told, it's a really good time. People tailgate, and like it's a neat general event. I do find it weird that the ice is so far away from the fans.
Thank
I will
you.
agree with you on that note. But I also think we have much trash to talk.
We do have a lot of
about
trash.
the actual All-Star game. So let's send the NHL over the top.
Gentlemen's All-Star lame. Okay, I like how we're like, and now we rub our palms together in an attempt to talk the smack. I used to love the All-Star weekend. It was marked on my calendar. I had merch, I had gear, I had posters, I had cards. And once again, this year, I got excited and I thought to myself, Beads, this is the year where they surprise you. They all show up, they all put in effort. There's pride involved, competition, actual names on the line for legacies and futures. And then, what did you say? 397 points. They attempted 169 3-pointers. That is like watching people do cardio. I've seen more competitive games walking through New York City. This was garbage. And there's billions of dollars in talent on the floor, and there's zero entertainment value to it. Zero. My idea, I'm done trying to fix it. I'm trashing the whole thing. No more All-Star games. Done, period.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's rash. I don't think that's going to happen.
It's maybe not, but it's my idea.
Yeah. I don't know if the commissioner is going to go for your idea, but I'll tell you where I'm at with it, because I hear everything you're saying. And we will, I'm sure, my guess is we'll talk about other things that happened throughout the weekend on the show that were actually interesting.
Yep.
But I'll say this. I make like plans to watch All-Star Saturday.
Yeah.
I last night had a dinner reservation at 7:30. Like I did not. The game is just a thing now. And I really do still enjoy Saturday, and I hope we get to talk about it as the show goes on, because there was a lot of good stuff there. I think people are maybe a little too focused on the dunk contest and not some of the other awesomeness, but the game itself, woof. I mean, you think about the days of Kobe going hard, of Jordan trying to shut people down. Like it's not the same, and you can't even pretend it's the same. So I'm with you. I don't think they'll get rid of it, but we got to do something better.
I don't know. You need to hear me out on my cancellation idea. Maybe
right.
maybe we'll have more. All right, up next. Oh, what is that music I hear? Donald Trump
Proud
unveiled.
to be an American and a man.
Oh, these are good. Now I'm torn because he unveiled his new sneaker line with the Never Surrender high top, starting at, oh God, $400 a pair at SneakerCon in Philly. P.S. They're gold.
Of course they are.
Continue talking about the NBA All-Star Game and weekend, or switch to these sweet ass sneaks? This was tough. That's right off the top.
This is a good battle, right? Because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about with these Trump sneakers and the fact that he showed up at SneakerCon and what that says about like SneakerCon. Because there are already people who have their questions about like what is SneakerCon culturally, like what's going on at this event.
Point. Yep.
And now they're like, wait, then Donald Trump shows up and gives a stump speech, and then at a place where you're supposed to be seeing people who like dope shoes.
Yeah.
You bust these out. Like,
did he kill SneakerCon? Did he kill SneakerCon?
You're like, what do you even say to someone you meet? He's like, I'm a big sneakerhead. What's your favorite kick? The Trump ones.
What did I say? The Never Surrender.
The Never Surrender ones, man. Like, I'm a Trump guy, you know.
No.
Jordan 3, Jordan 4, the Kobe 6, the David Robinson. I love the Trump Never Surrenders. Those are just.
I mean, if you're a true sneakerhead, though, question. This is a moral dilemma. Do you buy these to have them in your collection?
Well, they were like so limited. No, I don't. I think these are the kind of thing, like everything with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Nothing holds its value. It's all garbage.
Bless his heart.
It's always a lie. It's always what they said they made 50. I guarantee they made 500. Everything is a lie. So it will never be whatever value they say it has, it won't retain.
Damn.
So I say we toss these nasty gold painted
highly
looking sneakers.
Flammable for sure. Highly flammable. Yeah.
Chuck them right over the top so we can continue to complain about the NBA All-Star Game. Because, Beadle, I want to hear more about your cancellation.
Okay.
What do you do? Because you want to vote for the best players in the league. Like, there is a purpose to having All-Stars. So what do we do after this fun celebrity game on Friday and the fun Saturday night? What do you do on Sunday?
All right, I've got a few ideas. So my first one is the cancellation. That's obviously the extreme version. But because here's the deal. It is very clear that the players still give a damn about being named an all-star. As we've seen year in and year out, you've got your snubs, they're vocal about it, they get it, right? But they don't seem to give any of the damns about playing in the actual game. So then just take it away from them. I don't know why we have to go and vote for something that the very players themselves don't care to play in. If you took it away for, 2 seasons, and all of a sudden you're like, there's a 2-season window on every active player's resume that will not refer to an all-star game presence because, well, we just didn't have one. And then you ask yourself, why didn't we have one? And we show them the highlights of this 397-point fiasco. Maybe somebody will start to care, because as much as it's kind of fun to watch the most talented people in the world have fun, that also was highly unwatchable. I was doing 9 other things. And I love the NBA All-Star Weekend. So convince me that's a bad idea.
It's not a horrible idea. What about this idea, though?
Okay.
What if instead of hoping to get the game more serious, you lean into it being silly and go more like Rock and Jock style? Give me a 25-point shot. Shoot.
Okay,
you can shoot from half court, and it's worth 6. I don't know. Maybe instead of fighting for it to be serious, we should just accept it being not serious.
You know what? I don't hate that either. And maybe we start doing a little more Pro Bowl-like activities, tug of war. I don't know. The thing about the NBA, though, is, dude, all we ever hear about is everyone's so scared to get hurt. We can't do one-on-one. We're scared to get hurt. We don't want to try too hard. We're scared to get hurt. Like, it's annoying to me. We haven't even gotten to the slam dunk contest or anything else. But all right, we're moving on.
Let's move on to LeBron James.
Oh,
all right, LeBron James. He finally went. That's one of those things that's like, I don't even remember what it's from anymore. And I have to admit that whenever LeBron James' name comes up publicly, I just like obligatorily say LeBron James, and I don't even know. I think it's a little
kid did it, right? There's some cute little kid that was like LeBron James.
I think so, but like, he's the most famous name in all of sports, and yet I do this stupid thing, like it's like a tick I can't help. Anyways, LeBron James finally went on the record about the impending end of his career, saying that, get this, he'd like to retire as a Laker. but has not decided if he will do a retirement tour or just pull a Tim Duncan and walk out when that time comes, off into that good night.
Oh, sure.
Do we want to continue to talk about the All-Star game or the aforementioned LeBron?
Peter Stevenson Rosenberg. You and I know there is not a universe. There's no parallel universe. There's no wormhole. There's no bizarro world in which LeBron James will go quietly into that good night. Please and thank you. Do not think us stupid, sir. We know we might not even get just one Goodwill tour. We might get 2 full seasons of gifts and parades in every away game stop that he makes. And P.S., I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to Cleveland for a year and retires a Cav. There, I said it. But anyways, are we done with All-Star? Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, let's move on from the All-Star. I mean,
okay, let's do it.
Fix it. What else is this? Yeah, fix it.
Fix it, Adam.
Or get rid of it. Yeah, do something, bud.
Sweet. All right, everyone go away. Over the top you go. I mean, you're not buying this for a half second, are you?
No, that LeBron James wouldn't have a retirement tour, that he's not getting it. Let me be clear. I love LeBron, okay? I think he's a quality human being. I generally just like LeBron, think he's on the right side of most everything. He's a good dude. That said, he definitely has a touch of the self-importance, just a touch. There's already a LeBron James museum.
Thank you.
In Akron.
And who built it?
He has a museum.
Whose is it?
LeBron built it.
Oh, he did. Okay, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just making sure.
He built a museum for himself in his hometown. You're telling me there's a world in which one day he's going to just walk off? Come on.
Please.
He saw how Kobe went out with the retirement tour. You remember, it wasn't always great play-wise.
No.
But it was a big deal every night. I know me personally, when Kobe went to Boston, I went to see the last Celtics-Lakers game with Kobe.
Aww.
Like, LeBron, he's going to want to do all of that. Just let's get it on back to reality. That's what's happening. Now, I guess the real question is, back to what you just hinted at, is he really going to finish his career as a Laker?
I mean,
is that part even true?
It almost feels like once he says something like that, then it's not true. Like by merely uttering the words, the doubt has now been placed in the universe.
Because there'd been so much back and forth recently.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
I don't either. And I really am leaning into my Cavs idea. I can feel it. And no, there will be so much hoopla. I almost dread it, honestly. That's going to be a long, long NBA season, whenever that is, in the next few years. All right, up next. What?
Yeah, and can you imagine him and Bronny both playing?
Not according to the article I read today. Bronny ain't even close to ready for the NBA.
Really?
Not close. And that's okay, by the way. That is okay. Not ripping the kid, and I won't do that.
Right. But you're just being realistic. It may not happen on the timeline.
Up next, the UFC released their card for UFC 300. Immediately roasted on the internet, even though some pretty big matchups lower down on this one. Do we want to continue talking about LeBron's retirement or switch over to UFC 300? 300, as I like to say.
I'm sort of interested in the UFC 300 because the LeBron thing's not real, is it?
No, it's just LeBron talking.
And he's not going anywhere. He's playing too well. Like
You're going to get a heads up. I promise.
Well, first of all, he's going to have 1 year where he takes a step backwards, right? Like there's going to be that 1 year where he goes from 25-7-7 to like 25-4. And you're like, oh, he's actually mortal maybe. And then we can have a conversation. Right now, though, when the guy is still very much like a top 15 player in the league, I just don't think it's a real conversation.
I'm with you on that, which means you're telling me that we have at the very least, 2 more seasons, possibly 3 to 4. Okay, gotcha. All right. So UFC it is. LeBron, over the top you go. I want to hear why this got roasted so bad. What did I miss?
Here's the thing about UFC. I get into arguments quite a bit with some of my friends because like the hardcores, every single UFC, every month, they go, oh, this is you got to pay for this one. This is a one. And I go, okay, what is it? And then me, by the way, I am the definition of what they call casual.
Sure.
If I like this one this past weekend, it did not, granted, Volkanovski lost. It ended up being exciting. A new star is born. That's great. I've seen too many, though, where the Volkanovski on the card just wins easily, and I'm not interested. So when you see that UFC 300's coming up, you're just expecting a massive name at the top of the card.
Yep.
And all due respect to hardcore UFC fans who think that Alex Pereira is a huge star, but he's not a huge crossover star.
Okay.
He's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jamahal Hill, I've never watched Hill fight. Okay.
I like saying that name though. That's fun. Sure.
Now, granted, who cares what you think? You're a casual. Well, I would think you kind of care about the casuals for 300. Isn't that one when you hope to get more than the average psychopath who watches every single fight night, every single, UFC pay-per-view card? Now, you go down go down the card, and Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway that's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Oliveira's on the card. Aljamain Sterling has a fight on the card.
Oh, sure.
But then there's some other, Holly Holm is fighting someone I've never heard of.
Wow. Okay.
Cody Garbrandt, who, I love Cody Garbrandt, but he's not ranked anymore. He hasn't had a meaningful, at least a really impressive win in a long time. It just doesn't feel like that sexy. There are a lot of names, Beadle, but for me, as an admitted casual, don't come for me, bro. An admitted casual, it just doesn't have the thing that makes me want to fork over, the $79.99 that it costs to get a fight these days.
Because it's 300, so we were thinking like, ooh, I am Sparta, like something crazy big. Big round numbers. Now, listen, if they had gotten to get Zuckerberg in the win in the I'm
octagon,
sorry, like as in Mark.
Yeah, Zuckerberg versus Francis Ngannou, UFC 300. You kidding me?
You could have all of my worldly possessions for to
take it all. But actually, if we're gonna do that, then I'd rather have Musk and Ngannou. That's something I'd like to see.
How about this? They both fight him at the same time.
But yeah, we're not going to get that.
Okay,
Up
fine.
next, NBA stars dropped many spicy quotes over the weekend. Yeah, Ant-Man said he wants to start a remake of High School Musical. Giannis said if the Bucks win the chip, he'll jump on a track with Dame Dalla.
Ah, geez. Well.
Do we want to keep talking about UFC 300 and expectations, or the talk of All-Star Weekend?
But yeah, no, I'm gonna throw UFC out. We don't even need to talk about. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to ponder it. It's gone. It's over. Just don't pay for it. Go over to a friend's house. And All-Star. By the way, why are the quotes that came out of All-Star Weekend better than the actual basketball?
That's not what you want. That's not what you want.
No. How did we get here? And also, Giannis. Good news for you is zero threat of you needing to jump on any tracks this season. You are clear and ready to go on with your summer vacation. Zero chance you win it all. Now, that being said, High School Musical remake with Anthony Edwards. I'm listening. We know he can act. He was good in Adam Sandler's flick, but I also would like the basketball to be better. Less quoties, more basketball playing.
Beautifully said. Yeah, and then after the All-Star game, LeBron basically talked down about the All-Star game and kind of was like not really thrilled with this.
No.
And you could kind of tell by the minutes LeBron played and how many shots that he took, he wasn't really interested.
I mean, he came out strong. Like the first few minutes, you're like, all right, LeBron's actually trying. But it's his 400th All-Star weekend. I'm sure
and then when he
sees, have a break.
and then he's like the only one closing out on a 3-pointer. He's like, "What am I doing?
Yeah, why am I here?
I'm gonna play hard and hurt myself and look like a douche while no one else is trying hard."
Yep.
Now,
because did you hear the other Anthony Edwards quote? By the way, I mean, might as well pick on him since we're here. He actually was asked about the All-Star game being competitive, and his answer was, well, I'm young, and this is, as far as I know, All-Star is just supposed to be fun.
That's basically what he's seeing. So, and by the way, I'm good on seeing Giannis rap. I mean, I love Giannis, the basketball player. I heard KD rap over the weekend. I heard KD spit some bars on a song with Stolly. KD actually sounded pretty good. Give me KD and Dame Dalla. I don't need Giannis.
So KD's bars were up to your standards?
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good. Also, what's going to rhyme with Antetokounmpo? It's just
Antetokounmpo.
Something with the
dunk them
soup though. It's got but Antetokounmpo. But get past me that soup though.
I hate being on a Zoom though. Ooh, we can talk about Zoom.
I like that.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
No, yeah, it's Antetokounmpo. I don't go on Zooms, yo.
Boom. Pew,
Bar.
pew, pew. We're halfway through it. God, we're already halfway through the show. That's going to be worth money one day. Right now, the most important topic of the day, sadly, is not the All-Star Game play, but the All-Star Game quotes. Wow. That's sad.
I'm disappointed with us so far.
I'm disappointed with everyone. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Over the Top.
Putting my glasses on.
Whoa. If this was a game, I'm about to lose. What's our next challenger?
Let's see.
I don't know if this is intimidating or not.
On Monday, Colin Cowherd tweeted that he had a bowl of chili for breakfast, and that's how he will roll moving forward.
I'm sorry.
Do we want to talk about the All-Star break talk or chili for breakfast?
Oh, man. Actually, I don't mind if we talk about chili for breakfast because it brings me back to an age-old argument I've had with my parents since the beginning of time.
All right.
What is time? So go. All-Stars. Get out.
Get that all-star talk out of here. I don't necessarily need to talk Colin Cowherd, but I will talk chili for breakfast.
Now, number one, is it Texas style without the beans or gross style with the beans? Start there, because that matters.
Well, I guess it's a greater conversation. What is the least breakfasty type thing that you're down to eat for breakfast?
So here's where I lie. I do not take time.
I hope this is the rest of the show, by the way. I hope nothing beats this. Go ahead.
Nothing will if we want it to. I don't consider time a constraint that I'm necessarily interested in where my eating habits are concerned.
Go ahead.
I will wake up excited about the lasagna that's in my refrigerator or the pizza or the cold soup that I was dreaming about all night. I don't need breakfast foods at breakfast time, and I don't need dinner foods at dinner time. To me, eating is eating. It's all fluid.
So, hot shot, since you're talking all that shit, why don't you tell us something you eat for breakfast that's not typically breakfast?
Well, I do love a good candy bar every once in a while.
Okay.
Not great for the rest of my day, but in the moment, delicious. I've been known to have potato chips, if you will. Because let's see, what is the difference between a breakfast burrito and a dinner or lunch burrito?
Eggs. Eggs are the difference. You shove eggs in and now it's a breakfast burrito.
So
that's
eggs is the necessary part of what breakfast is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Question?
Then it's breakfast.
Then can I have a hamburger for breakfast with an egg on it? Is that now breakfast?
I just like that you said breakfast. So
breakfast.
You can have whatever you want for breakfast, Beadle. But I've got more to say on this. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see where we go.
Let's see what we got. All right. Tiger Woods, y'all. Ooh, just like LeBron James.
It really is. It's the same thing.
It's
Tiger Woods
we're brainwashed.
Tiger Woods is the biggest sports star of all time. And we have to go Tiger Woods, y'all. A random thing from what? A Chris Rock song. Because it's from No Sex in the Champagne Room.
That's because we live in real life idiocracy. We are morons. All right.
And by the way, and that was before even memes existed. That was Tiger Woods, y'all, is like a meme that doesn't even exist. But go ahead.
All right. Tiger Woods withdrew from the Genesis Invitational with, not back spasms, the flu. However, fans are blaming the In-N-Out burger that he ate before and judging his order of no sauce, no pickles. How do we know all that? That's creepy as hell. Oh, I guess we could see it. P.S. Would that be a breakfast?
Yeah, you know what? I'm a big Tiger guy. I love Tiger. I'm sad that he had to leave the Genesis. It's what makes me immediately turn golf off. Oh, no Tiger? I'll check in on Sunday. So I was bummed out to hear it, but I think I'd rather continue on the what can you eat for breakfast conversation.
Or what can't you eat?
Or what can't you? Tiger, please politely show yourself out. I do not want you hurt for the rest of the season. We need you good by April.
By the way, in his defense, there is a mad flu going around. So I believe that he had the flu, not his order.
Everyone is sick with something.
Thank you.
It's crazy. In the post-COVID world, everyone has something. It's not quite COVID, but my conspiracy theory, I think it's sort of all COVID. Like none of it's COVID.
Hear me out. Fovid.
Whoa, I could see that like catching on, Beads. Fovid. So okay, back to breakfast.
Yep.
So let's establish some things here. Number one, there are things that are deemed to be acceptable for breakfast that are just not acceptable.
Like what?
Like For example, donuts.
Excuse
you are
me?
literally just eating cake. That is cake for breakfast.
It's called breakfast cake, and I like it.
I don't know. By the way, I love it. Don't get me wrong. But like when I go into like a Dunkin' Donuts on like an early radio morning to get coffee and I see people there like on a random Tuesday just like chucking down donuts, I'm like, what kind of crazed life are you living that on a Wednesday you can just be like, you know what I'm feeling like? Birthday cake. Let's go get some.
Yes.
So the rules for what's appropriate for breakfast are kind of what society tells us because it makes no sense that you're having dessert for breakfast.
Sure it does. It's a sugar kick. We all need that to get the morning started. I mean, look, it doesn't make the rest of the day feel perfect, but in that moment, the high, hard to beat.
I mean, listen, by the way, how about like chocolate chip pancakes? Like, that's literally cake. Now you're having a cake, a chocolate cake for breakfast.
So my thing is I don't love chocolate chips. So that's where but I do love pancakes or like banana pancakes.
Banana pancakes, blueberry pancakes covered in maple syrup and nuts. It's like a sundae. It's like a cake sundae.
Okay, but this is the same country in which we order, and by we, I mean y'all, because I ain't doing it, giant coffees with 6 gallons of whipped cream on top. What is that? That's not even coffee anymore. That's a gallon of melted coffee ice cream with whipped cream on it.
Oh, don't even get me. Yeah, I mean, by the way, I'll give you coffee. I'll give you cappuccino. I'll give you a latte.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beyond those.
Nope.
You are having a milkshake.
That
is just and by the way, I'm not judging you. I love milkshakes. But let's just be clear, that's a milkshake.
But by the
way, let's call a muffin what it is. A muffin's a fucking cupcake, okay? It's more cupcakes. Everything is... So there's a whole... Before we go judging Colin Cowherd for having chili for breakfast, just know everyone out here is eating cake for breakfast. All right, let's see if this continues on. Because there's more here, I think.
There's more here.
Dame Lillard won the 3-point shootout and the All-Star Game MVP. But... the Bucks have struggled to meet expectations all season long. I don't care. I don't care. Sorry, Dame. I love the 3-point shootout. If we come back around to the 3-point shootout, we'll talk about you. As for now and your boring Buck expectations, get the Buck out of here. I don't care.
Tyrese Halliburton was robbed of the MVP in his own town. Okay, go.
Yeah, I know. And take Doc with you, by the way. So let's stay with the breakfast.
Okay.
So what's the most unbreakfast? I'll basically eat whatever for breakfast because to me it's like about just starting your day. Like
right? Like if I eat breakfast at all, I'm lucky.
If I got to the radio station and they were like, "Oh, Funk Flex had burgers delivered last night and they're still sitting out," if no one's looking, I would eat a burger.
For sure.
I wouldn't care.
Now let me ask you this: do you do this? Like if you go into work and there's a box of donuts and they're whole donuts, like it's pretty freshly placed on the table. And there are other people in the room and you don't even know who brought the donuts. So I'm already like, okay, well, I let them have a donut. So I'll cut a half donut pretending like I'm only going to eat a half a donut.
Sure you will. And then you're going back and you're having the other half. Of course.
Obviously.
And, by the way, I just want you to know when it comes to like food at my workplace, I am an animal.
That's how it is.
I have opened the fridge before like it's my house. Just hoping to find food.
You're not the guy who steals other people's food, are you?
No, I would not steal someone's like labeled food.
Like a sandwich.
But I am kind of hoping that like I'll open the thing and there'll be like a thing of leftovers and I'll just be like, thank you. And I'll eat something. I'm not going to like open someone's styrofoam and say, although famously as a kid, I did accidentally eat when I was 14. I had a job and I ate what I thought was my sandwich. And I was like, oh my God, my mom packed me a sick lunch. My mom gave me chips. She gave me cookies. My mom all I get is like grapes and tuna fish on rye. And then I realized like, this isn't my lunch. And I put the fucking sandwich back.
With bites out of it?
With a bite out of it. And I go back to work and I swear to you, like a half hour later, I just hear a blood curdling scream from the kitchen.
No.
Oh my God, the woman got so freaked out. I came clean.
She should have said it was a rat. Then then the scream's warranted.
No, I know. There was no need to scream. It was just someone ate your lunch. What
was there a murderer in it when she opened it?
I know. You know what happened? A human ate my sandwich. I mean, it's frustrating, but it's not,
Okay. Up next, The Rock completed his heel turn. He has now joined officially the Bloodline on WWE SmackDown. Uh-oh. I can already tell this is going to be tough for you, Peter. Do we continue talking about breakfast, just breakfast, or switch over to The Rock?
Well, here's the thing, Beadle. As you can see, I've put on my currently prescriptionless glasses.
Yes, you have.
Because we're talking about important issues like breakfast cereal. The question is, do I need to keep these glasses on as we throw cereal over the top and break down all that is important with The Rock joining the Bloodline?
Just take it away, Peter Rosenberg. Take it away.
I'm sorry, Chili, for breakfast. You're out of here. We got to talk about it. I'll tell you why. Because Beadle was privy to a very unfortunate circumstance that happened last week. I think HR was called after our show finished recording. Me and our crack producer, Andrew Goldstein, got into a scary argument about things that have transpired with The Rock.
Yes, she did.
And his lack of satisfaction and my joy at it all, at the whole thing. But when I really was proven to be right about how wonderful the whole thing is when The Rock came out wearing a $500 Versace shirt and at one point said to a booing fan, "Watch your mouth, fatty. I'll slap the herpes off your lip." I said, he's back. This is what we're all here for. To see a bona fide A-list celebrity who, let's be honest, at times has gotten almost like so perfect that he can be a little boring in the moment. Like he's so everything's so cultivated and manufactured. To see him now just being a full-on shit-talking bad guy, dude. People are going to come back. Listen, WWE has been doing great recently. By the way, Elimination Chamber this weekend from Perth, Australia. 4 a.m. Just a 4 a.m. start time for the kickoff show if you want to see your boy.
4 a.m. East Coast?
Yeah. Will you be out west?
Yes, I will.
Perfect. Just throw me on at 1 then.
That's not bad.
Not too bad. But it's such a great time. And seeing The Rock being a bad guy for the first time in 21 years.
Yes.
That's just, come on. People are coming back to see that.
He called someone fatty and then talked about their herpes. How do you not watch this?
Keep in mind, this was in Salt Lake City, and he also said, all of you and all your inbred children, you and your 600 inbred children will all be thankful that you saw The Rock. I mean, he completely went full-on Attitude Era style. It was amazing. All right.
Now, I have one quick question about that before we move on.
Please.
Is that The Rock's brain, or are they giving him ideas for burns and he just sort of goes out there and wings it? Or is he coming up with all you inbred children? I
think that one was probably pretty easy for The Rock to come up with.
It is, but for him to say it is another.
Right. So I think I have to imagine there's some conversation about what line he's able to go to. But The Rock has famously always had a writer who he works very close with, who wrestling nerds like myself know and respect a lot, named Brian Gewirtz, who he was a big writer in the Attitude Era, and he was The Rock's guy for years and years. He was even portrayed in The Rock's show, Young Rock, which he helped write with The Rock. So my guess is them together, plus with other people on the creative team, have a conversation. But you could tell the things that he was saying were also just very much him.
Love it. I love it, and I'm in. 1 a.m. Purse.
Yeah,
got it.
I'll see you at 1 a.m. Yeah, set your alarm. All right, guys, up next, it's going to be a short run for The Rock. Steph versus Sabrina Ionescu delivered the best moment of All-Star Weekend. Sabrina may have lost, but she put up the same amount of points that won the three-point shootout. Do we want to stick with the great one becoming evil, or move on to Steph versus Sabrina and making history?
I mean, look, I love The Rock and I love that Versace outfit thing he's got going on, which even in a tiny little picture, I can tell it's Versace. That being said, over the top you go, sir.
Yeah.
But we will be back to you. This Steph Sabrina event was the only compelling part of the entire weekend. She was hot from the jump. And as soon as she just went to the second round, I was like, oh, she's not playing. And you could tell. And Steph was probably like, oh, God, this is about to get real. It was amazing television. It was the only time in the entire weekend where I actually put everything else down and watched only this. I wasn't distracted. I didn't have my phone. I don't know how to perfect it every year. If you're going to just keep adding, it's fine. But do it. Do it forever.
Steph Curry, Sabrina Ionescu. It was a moment to behold. Me and my wife took it in together and both were so stoked. I love Steph for doing it. This is a league in which players appear scared to even do the dunk contest because they don't want to look bad. And Steph absolutely knew that he could have lost easily because Sabrina's
100%.
incredible. And he did it. From a storyline standpoint, back to wrestling full circle, I sort of love that in the inaugural one, Steph beating her narrowly is kind of the right way for it to all start off.
Perfect.
I dig it. And now next year or the year after, we'll get Caitlin Clark in the NBA, in the WNBA. This is, dare I say, in 2024, the greatest moment, the most important moment maybe we've ever seen in women's basketball. Things are happening, Beadle.
It was, and by the way, remember, her 26 points is what won the 3-point contest for Damian Lillard. Just saying.
I know. She was awesome, man. She was absolutely awesome.
All right. I'm glad we got that in there because it was my favorite part of the weekend. Up next, the NBA is on ice until Thursday night. So a big second half storyline, the Timberwolves. Believe it or not, currently first in the West. Thunder, Clippers, Nuggets right there behind them. Do we continue to talk about the best event of the weekend, Steph and Sabrina, or switch to a Timberwolves team who might not be a fluke?
Did you say Timberwolves?
I said Timberwolves.
I'll go ahead and stick with Sabrina and Steph then. Thanks. Am I a bad guy? No, I'm good.
No, you're not buying them, and it's okay.
Not yet. Maybe I will. Yeah, I don't know how long the T-Wolves will hang on, and I don't know if the Clippers will keep it all together, but right now I don't care. So over the top you go. See you later, T-Wolves. What I love right now is that Steph and Sabrina were willing to do something interesting, and I think the rest of the NBA All-Star festivities should sort of take note from this.
Yeah.
Let's add legends to the three-point. It was in Indiana.
Thank you.
You know how dope it would have been if Reggie Miller had been in a 3-point shootout? Why not?
Sitting there talking about it, just have him be in it.
Like, all of these things for All-Star Weekend where you can spice it up and make it cool and make it different. That's the way to go, man. Like, all due respect to Mac McClung, who, by the way, we got to give him his props.
Yeah.
Because, his name doesn't mean anything. That dude, in terms of dunk creativity and Beadle, also his efficiency.
Yep.
Like, do you remember we had years where when anyone tried a good dunk, they'd miss it 7 times?
God, I almost forgot. But yes, I do remember that.
That dude's efficiency for hard dunks, like where he just nails, it's 1 or 2 times he's in.
That's all he needs. Never passed 2 times. Never.
But like, here's the thing I don't understand, Beadle. If all of these great shooters are willing to be in the 3-point shootout, and it was chock full of stud shooters, why would you not be willing to sort of risk your pride in the dunk contest? The 3-point shootout's like a way more relevant skill to the game. It's kind of one where you think the pressure would be even bigger. Who cares if you lose the dunk contest? Like, why can't we get cooler people in the dunk contest?
You know what's crazy too, Peter? Is that they're all watching. And you can tell because they were tweeting live about it. You had Joel Embiid, John Morant's tweeting about it. Aaron Gordon was tweeting about it. I'm forgetting. Yusuf Nurkic is tweeting about the dunk contest. Like, they're watching it, which means they're seeing the same embarrassment that we are, and they could do something about it. I think John Morant, because his PR, he's taken a hit, obviously. So I would not be shocked if he does it next season, health permitting and all that good stuff. And that would be fun because he does it in warm-ups. Just go out there and do what you do in warm-ups.
I was going to say if he's healthy next year, the image rehab process for John Morant should start
100%.
With him winning the dunk contest. It would be awesome. That's 90 seconds, which means it's official. We have it. A new, undisputed, most important thing on planet Earth this week. And it's perfect. It's what it should be. It's Steph and Sabrina. The incredible intergender shootout from the weekend. It was so fun. And it should be the most important thing.
That's how you do it. Same line, shot from there, no pandering. Somebody tell Kenny Smith. It was perfect.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Can't win them all.
All right, that'll do it for us. Tune in next week to determine the only thing you need to care about and what